And now for an honest and unbiased opinion. Calder, do you want some barbecue? Come on. There you go, the tail don't lie. Did you know that a 10-pound pork shoulder cannot fit into a relatively large crock pot? I had every intention of doing some Kalua pork, slow cooking it in the crock pot for about 15 hours, and it won't fit. So for a barbecue show, I'm about to do the unthinkable, and I am going to go ahead and put this into the oven. Now, the only thing that is better than how simple this recipe is to make is how delicious it is going to taste. Here's the ingredients. We're gonna be following the 3-2-1 method. I know what you're thinking on ribs. We're not doing the 3-2-1 on ribs. We're doing 3-2-1 on Kalua pork, which means that for every 3 pounds, for every 3 pounds, 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke, 1 tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt. So with 10 pounds, I have a little over 3 tablespoons of liquid smoke. I have a little over 3 tablespoons of Himalayan pink salt. We're gonna rub it in. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna slow cook this. I have the oven set at 200 degrees. I am anticipating this to take about 15 hours. A little bit before that, maybe 13 hours, I'll start sticking it with the thermometer, see what our temperature is. We're gonna try to get it to about 145. And then we're gonna make sure that it's got the right tenderness as well. So as you can see, I have scored the meat to make sure that my liquid smoke and my salt can get rubbed in really well. Let me go ahead and take care of pouring that over and rubbing it in, and then I'll bring you right back. So we have poured the liquid smoke over the top, and then I rubbed in the Himalayan pink salt. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to wrap it up. Now, if you were having this at a traditional Hawaiian luau, they would wrap this in banana leaves or tea leaves. I don't have any banana leaves. So we're gonna use aluminum foil. Also, if this was a traditional Hawaiian luau, we would be cooking it in the ground. Also not going to do that. But the flavor when we're done with this is gonna be fantastic. So it's a little bit after 8:30 at night. So we are going to put it into the oven tonight, and then probably somewhere close to noon tomorrow, we're gonna have an awesome Kalua pork feast. Come back tomorrow, join me, which is only gonna take you a couple of seconds, but I'll see you tomorrow and we'll see how this turned out. Aloha. So I thought for the big reveal of our Kalua pork, it might be funny to wear a grass skirt and a coconut bra. But then I thought it wouldn't be that funny if I lost all of my viewers, so decided just to go with the Hawaiian shirt today. So we cooked it low and slow in the oven for about 15 hours, and then I took it and I put it into this ice box. Stuffed in, oh yeah, I can still feel the heat coming off the towels there. Stuffed in some towels. And here's the pork. Oh, still tons of juice in there. And lots of drippings left in there. Let's take a look and see how we're doing. I think I need to, because I'm sure that I have some of you that are already scratching your head. Because I mentioned we needed to get this to an internal temperature of 145, and some of you are thinking, you had to go much, much higher than that. The USDA says you need to get to a temperature of 145 degrees for the food to be safe. And that is directly what I was commenting on. However, most of you that have smoked pulled pork or the like know that it usually tends to get up to about 205 degrees thereabouts before it is fork tender. I did comment yesterday that we wanted to make sure that we got it up to the right internal temperature and that it was tender. So it got well above the internal temperature of 145. In fact, for the last hour, I turned the oven up to about 230 degrees just to try and get us, and you can see the meat's already starting to pull away from, oh my gosh. Did you see how easy that came out? It's still quite warm. I've let it rest for about 2 hours. But honestly, you want to see how easy this is going to be? I brought a couple of forks so that I could do this, but look at that. Look at how amazing that is. Fork tender. I probably am going to use the forks because it's still quite hot, even though it's rested for a couple of hours. Let's give it a taste and see what we're doing. Wonderful taste, wonderful flavor from the salt that came off of that, as well as the liquid smoke. Trust me, this is simple to make. You saw there's only 3 ingredients, and one of those ingredients is the pork. You go low and slow on it. The reason that we go low and slow is so that you can break down the connective tissues, collagen, things like that. And that's what makes it so tender. And that's why when you do a pulled pork or something along those lines, that you're probably going to try and get the temperature to around 200 degrees, maybe 205. You take it out when the tenderness is right. The tenderness on this is just perfect. I'd love to keep talking to you, but I'm going to stop now so that I can grab a bite of this. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dan Olson, Hog Wild Barbecue. Please push the little subscribe button. It's red, it's down in the corner, and I will see you next time.